Hello, everybody out in Facebook land. I am so delighted to be here this evening. My name is Jeanette Bruce. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the program coordinator at Whistler Public Library. And I'm here on behalf of a group called Alphabet Soup. And that's Whistler's LGBTQ plus group. And it's hosted in partnership with our amazing friends at Whistler Community Services Society, with the Youth Center, the Whistler Youth Center, and with the Whistler Blackcomb Mountain Alliance. And we have done a few story times. Alphabet Soup has hosted a few virtual story times. This one will have a little bit of a difference, though. I must say this one's for the grown-ups. So I hope your kids are in bed. I hope you've got your favorite adult beverage with you. And before I introduce our fabulous performers this evening, I just want to say that we are also here as part of Connect Whistler Week, and that's a way that we welcome new people to town. We show them all that Whistler has to offer, and oh boy, is this going to be a doozy for the new folks. So we're really delighted to be part of the Connect Whistler lineup with this fabulous grown-up story time. Now, I'm going to stop talking because there are two very fabulous people in this Zoom call with me. And without any further ado, I am going to introduce the wonderful Carlotta Gurl and Joan-E. Hello, ladies.
Hello, darlings. Hello, Jeanette. How are you?
Oh,
Hello.
Lovely to see you, Joan. You look gorgeous.
So do you, my darling? Sorry, my earplug was just coming out there. I think I'm all right now.
There you go, girl. We're so happy to be here. Thank you for having me back again. Introduce my lovely friend Joan-E.
Yeah, they only bring me out for the adult. They only bring me out for the adult gigs.
Oh, we'll have you back more often, girl.
I'm going to let you two take over. I'm going to mute myself because I'm not the main attraction here.
That might not be a good idea, but
yeah. You're going to be kicking yourself for this later, Jeanette.
But you have the power. You can always mute us.
I do have the power. Okay, I'm gonna slip away and let you ladies take over.
Oh.
Well, honey.
Well, Joan-E, I'm happy to do the show with you because, as I said to Jeanette, we've done many shows together. And just when the pandemic started, we were doing Quarantinely Yours every Saturday night right here in my living room.
Yes. Normally we would always be side by each at the very least, but unfortunately with the way things are right now, we are across the West End from each other. But it's great to be able to see you and to be with everybody tonight. Well, I think we're going to spice up the Monday. We'll apologize in advance for the shocking poor taste of this show.
We have some crazy stories for you right now. There's sort of a take on a saltier version of a children's story, let's just say.
Not the sort of fare you would be doing normally.
Not for kids' ears, more for adult ears.
Right.
So our first story I will begin with is delightfully called Spank the Monkey, written by Bimisi Tayanita. All right, here we go. If you find yourself alone, with much to think about, he'll come by and help you work things out. Just the other day, while walking on the farm, Spank the Monkey stopped to look in Farmer Johnson's barn. The air in there was warm. It smelled of salt and sweat and lotion. Way back in the corner was a constant, steady motion. The farmer's arm was moving fast. His hands, they looked so worn. Spank the Monkey stepped right in and helped him shuck his corn. Spank likes to visit Grandpa, who loves his magazines. He has the first one and the last, and all the in-betweens. He flips right through the articles until his fingers blister. What he really likes to do is look at all the pictures. When Grandpa gets excited and messes up an issue, Spank is there to save the day with a box of tissue. Then he has a job that's making sauce for pizzas. As he cooks, he likes to watch the waitresses go by. Then he grabs his hard salami as he hides it from his boss. Then he goes into the pantry to make some secret sauce. Then he makes a lot of sauce. He whips it up by hand. Spank has seen the waitress. He can understand. Spank has seen the waitress. He can understand. That bears repeating. Spank the Monkey takes his car to the quick lube service station. They let him fill his jar up there when he's out of lubrication. From underneath the car on jacks comes some grunting and a moan. The dirty old mechanic Max was down there all alone. Max's hands were greasy and his eyes were squinted shut. Spank was there to lube his tool and help him bust his nut. You may have heard it said that Spank only helps the guys. Please don't cloud your head with all those silly lies. Spank the Monkey actually likes the girls more than the boys. Every girl he knows has a nightstand full of toys. And he plays the flute all day in a marching band. She knows that when the day is done, Spank will lend a hand. When Annie goes to bed at night, her face is all aglow. 'Cause Spank the Monkey's gonna have a finger puppet show. As the satin curtains drop, she thinks, I'm a lucky girl. Spank opens up her favorite scene, polishing the pearl. Annie dims the lights and makes sure the door is locked. Then Spank the Monkey oils her flute and puts it in her box. This book is out of pages, so that's where the story ends. But Spank will be back soon enough to help out all his friends. Thank you, Spank the Monkey. Bye, Bemisi. Anytime. And now over to my dear sister Joan for her story.
Joan, you'll have to unmute yourself over there.
Oh, Joan, you have to unmute.
Find that little microphone.
I was hearing some reverb. Was it just me that was hearing it?
Oh, I wasn't hearing it on my end.
Okay, perfect. And
No.
you're not hearing any reverb
No,
on mine?
I'm not hearing
No.
myself
No.
echoing back.
No, all
Okay.
good.
It might just be-
Proceed, ladies.
All right, well, let's carry on. This is a very beautiful story. I believe it was probably inspired from the good book. And I don't mean that good book, but a good book. It's called Brendas Beaver. And it's like a fireside story, I think. Something warm and, very Canadian. And here it is. Brenda has a beaver, and she's happy to confess, as soft and sweet as it may be, her beaver is a mess. Brenda's beaver is big. Brenda's beaver is heavy. But every guy who's seen it thinks it's a little scary. Brenda took her beaver for a swim down at the lake. By the look she received, she figured that was quite a mistake. She stuffed it in a swimming suit and it stuck out all around. It was anything but cute. Some who saw it laughed. Others were just stunned. Brenda's beaver was hanging out, soaking in the sun. Her friends would not believe her. They said, we need to talk. They covered up her beaver and they took her for a walk. Brenda, dear, listen here. We want to help you out. Your beaver needs a makeover. It really needs it now. I hope we don't seem pushy, said her biker friend, Kim, because everyone has a biker friend, Kim. Your beaver is too bushy. We think it needs a trim. Savannah pulled her beaver back to show off what she'd done. Hers had a nice long landing. It looks like it might be fun. Chrissy's beaver is quite rare. Hers is bare and has no hair. Her beaver is a Brazilian. Catherine let her beaver loose. She said there's nothing to it. Grab some clippers and a can of mousse. We'll show you how to do it. Kim produced some scissors and Chrissy had some wax. Now all that Brenda has to do is sit back and relax. As they came toward her beaver, they said, now don't be scared. We're going to see what's underneath that frumpy pile of hair. It ended in just minutes. They didn't leave her much. When Brenda's friends were finished, she and her beaver blushed. Her beaver was so tiny, they couldn't believe their eyes. It was smooth and it was shiny. It was hard to recognize. Now Brenda is so proud. It seems like every time we see her, she's in the center of a crowd just showing off her beaver. The end. Fin.
Beautifully done, my friend. Beautifully done.
That was lovely, Joan.
Dignified,
Very
I
beautiful.
say.
I felt educated by that story.
Carlotta, darling, I
Yes.
want, before you start your next story,
Sure.
I think what Joan was hearing was your paper in front of your microphone. So if you
There
could
you go.
hold it to the side this time, show off
Just
that
like this.
décolletage.
Very smart of you to notice that, Jeanette. That's why you're the hostess and we're the lowly speakers.
I mean,
Yes.
you're the talent, darling.
You're the producer.
Right
Oh,
now,
there's
with the
Lucy.
big guns.
That's Lucy. That's Carlotta's beautiful cat, Lucy
Hi,
Gorgian
Lucy.
Stevens.
Lucy says hello. She always wants to get in the action, you know. She gets paid a lot more than we do for these events. So our next wonderful story is called, Do You Want to Play With My Balls? Now, the cover of this book, they're playing with a bunch of soccer balls and basketballs. Of course. And this is written by the Safaldi brothers, who I'm sure are quite a pair, yes. Do you want to play with my balls? Hey, Louie, do you want to play with my balls? Sure, Chuck, Louie said. I can hold your ball sack so it won't drag on the ground. Wow, your balls are so big, I can even fit them in my mouth. My mom's always yelling, Louie, get those balls out of your mouth before you choke. You know that mean girl Sally? She squeezed my balls so hard they looked funny. Chuck commented, yeah, well, when I play with Sally, I always end up with blue balls. Not anymore. Yesterday, Sally kicked Billy's ball so hard he lost one. Look, Louie, Chuck exclaimed, your dog is licking my balls. Let's roll them on Sparky's fur. Girls hate hairy balls. You know, Chuck, Louie snorted, if we show Sally our hairy balls, she'll scream for sure. Yeah, but I know I kind of like Sally, so I won't do that. I wish she would just play with my balls. Yeah, sure, Chuck, me too. Hi, Sally. Do you want to play with our balls? Sure, she said, but only if I can play with both your balls at the same time. I'd like a lot of balls all over my mouth. Another educational story from the Safaldi brothers.
Just charming.
Want to play with my balls.
Charming.
We are slowly sinking further and further to the well, to the den of inequity there.
And now we're going to assassinate some of your classics.
Exactly.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Hit it.
You'll remember some of these from your childhood, but not quite like this. Mary had a little lamb. Her father shot it dead. Now it goes to school with her between two chunks of bread. Georgie Porgy, puddin' and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, he kissed them too, 'cause boy, he was sure gay. Jack and Jill went up the hill to have some hanky-panky. Silly Jill forgot the pill, and now there's little Frankie. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to fetch her poor dog a bone. But when she bent over, Rover drove her, 'cause Rover had a boner of his own. Little Miss Muffet sat in her tuffet, eating her sausage and chips. Along came a spider and sat down beside her, and she bashed that poor fucker to bits. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. Dear, oh dear, he should have jumped higher. Oh, good gracious, great balls of fire. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white and wispy. Then it caught foot and mouth disease, and now it's as crazy as Carlotta. Humpty Dumpty sat in the bed. Little Bo Peep was giving him assistance. As he came, she started to weep because she could tell by the taste he'd been visiting the sheep. Hey, diddle diddle, the cat did a piddle right at the break of dawn. The little dog laughed so doggone hard, he took a dump right on the front lawn. I don't know why I like that one best, but I do. Hey, diddle diddle, the cat took a piddle.
Oh, that was pretty fabulous, girl. I've never heard stories like that before.
No, never once.
No. And now we pause this programming for a brief announcement from one of our sponsors on what you do when you get this unsightly STI. It's called the new Carlotta Anticrab Pill, a less invasive alternative to the Carlotta cream. A much easier way to fight this STD from the inside, with no burning or tingling to the infected area. Mild side effects may occur, and they are dry mouth, drowsiness, swollen forearms, mild headaches, itchy earlobes, possibility of dizziness, bloating, itchy and watery eyes, loss of appetite, no sexual libido, extreme nausea, changes to or loss of menstrual cycle, cramping, severe diarrhea, temporary Tourette's, painful urination, fatigue, restlessness, insomnia, excruciating migraines, temporary blindness, paralysis in one side of the body, pancreatic pressure, sweaty genitals, allergy to sunlight, blood cravings, sore nipples, aversion to any and all farm animals, twitching, seasickness, land sickness, air sickness, car sickness, loss of religious belief, lack of reason to live, extreme depression, thoughts of suicide, loss of hearing, and mad cow disease. So, mothers who are nursing, mothers who have postpartum depression, and mothers who operate heavy machinery are advised to not take this pill. Bearded non-smokers are definitely advised not to. Order yours today online at www.crabfreegirls.cockfightingbearsandheat.bathhousebuddies.necrophilia at crueltytocrabs.com.org.ca.net, or purchase yours at the patio section at Home Depot. Don't be the last nympho with crabs in your community. Order today.
Do you know what's funny is that is not far off from what some of those commercials are.
It really isn't, is it?
I mean, maybe not as blunt, but certainly as long in terms of what you could possibly get.
And the side effects are much worse than what you're actually treating.
Yes. You take
It's
one
true.
pill and more than your earring falls off.
It's true.
Now,
Yeah.
this next recitative we are going to present to you is really founded in something very important to all of us British Columbians, and it's a story based on, sustainability. We're very fortunate that in the West End particularly, there are a lot of places that, promote all of us sort of, living off the land as best we can and having green spaces. And not to be outdone, Carlotta has been expanding a community garden patch over a long period of time.
I have quite the green thumb.
And she's really quite proud of it. It started, very small, but with plenty of attention paid toward it, her garden has gotten quite large.
Ooh.
So Carlotta, how
Massive.
is your community garden patch? Is it as impressive as I've heard?
Well, would you like to see it?
No, Carlotta. No, we're all good, thanks. I think its reputation is more than enough. Where is it located?
Oh, not far away at all. It's just round back.
Is your garden any particular color?
Well, pink, of course. Pink is my signature color, after all. Mind you, my pink is neither blush nor bashful. It's all hot pink.
Do you ever worry about it getting pricked?
No, dear, I'm a big girl.
I hear that your garden gets lots of visitors who enjoy helping you expand.
Well, of course. It's important to share the bounty, Joan. Don't you have a community garden patch?
No, dear. I have one small indoor garden box, but I decided years ago that I'm not comfortable putting anything in it. What do you do when your garden patch gets cold?
Well, that is a good question. There's a bush down there that I keep well trimmed in the summer months, but I start letting it grow in during the last weeks of fall.
Any important other tips?
It's also important that it not get too wet or too dry.
Tell me something. Do you ever have to remove any large unwanted roots that spread out, get wedged in, and threaten to take over your garden?
I've yet to encounter one I wasn't equipped to handle.
Okay, have you ever had to deal with any little bugs? I hear they can be quite invasive and persistent.
No. I hose it down there regularly, and I keep a good supply of chemicals around just in case. The bush trimming helps too.
Oh, well, good. I hear your garden patch is very deep and quite wide.
Well, it's not as deep or wide as some, but it does the trick.
Do you ever close up the garden patch?
Well, of course, I don't attend to it when I'm at work or doing shows. If I know I'm going to be busy for long periods of time, I get a friend or two to help refresh it in advance.
Do you keep lots of photos of your patch?
Oh, honey, albums full.
Yet you won't be displaying them here tonight.
Well, no, not here in the living room.
Are there any flowers in the garden?
There was one flower once, my very special rosebud, but a gentleman plucked it many years ago.
I'm sure he did. How many years ago was that? And have you named it?
Of course. It's my secret garden.
There's an irony. Are you quite particular as to who is welcome to attend to your garden patch?
Oh.
Anyone? Yeah.
Oh, of course. One doesn't just let anyone come tramping on through.
Really? I've overheard you on many a Saturday night welcoming guys from the Pump Jack pub to come back and check it out. You've also been quite candid about the size of your hose.
Well, it is a community garden after all. And yes, I'm very proud of my hose and all of my other tools.
I hear that things can get rather loud when you're taking care of your community garden patch, especially when you have someone assisting you.
Yes, Joan. Occasionally the neighbors complain that my efforts. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. I lost that last bit. What was it?
Occasionally, neighbors complain that your efforts to take care of your community garden patch have led to loud and enthusiastically declare my pleasure with. Okay, why don't we start at where were the police ever called?
Oh, yes. Hold on. That's a good question. There's a bush down there that I keep trimmed in summer months. We screwed this up, haven't we, Joan?
Well, you have. Did you have a little
I've
glass
lost
of
the
wine
last part of
before you?
it. Hold on.
Well,
Let's
we're
climb on the
almost.
seat of our pants, shall we?
Um, I, I guess you haven't been able to have anybody around recently to take care of to help you with your garden hose or your patch because of COVID-19.
Oh no, my hose and my patch have been in quarantine like the rest of me. It's now growing quite verdant and green.
I assume that your garden needs a lot of sunlight.
When I get out in the daytime and roll around the grass, it definitely does, yes. Sometimes the
Oh,
dogs from the nearby park come by and lick it.
I'm sure. Well, that's charming. I'm sure if everyone watching didn't have a clear picture before, they certainly do now. We want to thank you, Carlotta, for sharing this wonderful tale of good old-fashioned ingenuity, getting your hands dirty through horticultural, and the time-honored tradition of green spaces.
And if any of you lovely gentlemen want to come over here and roll around in my beautiful garden patch, you are more than welcome, because hoeing is what I love to do.
Yes, and as she once learned from somebody who isn't here tonight, when you're green inside, you're clean inside.
It's true. Thank you very much, darlings.
All
That's our
righty.
lovely story time for you
Oh, it
all.
was
We hope
beautiful.
you've
Yes.
enjoyed it and you've learned some very important things from this very beautiful readings. Now,
I feel
I
like I
do
need to
believe.
jump in and
Go
say
for
that
it, Jeanette. Jump
even
right in.
even if that was not planned, that was like the drag version of who's on first. So I'm very much here for that.
I'm glad you
Well
liked
done.
it, my dears.
No, proceed, please, proceed.
Well, I think we should do a little number right now. What do you think, Joan?
Should I go do mine and then you close off the evening?
Sure,
Do you
because
want
I have to get mine to start playing anyway. So you go
to?
first.
Okay, well, I'll do mine
Yes,
and then you can close this out. How's that?
sounds like a plan.
This is a song about about dentistry. And I know you might be saying when you decided to tune in tonight, you might have thought, well, I really didn't think I'd hear a song about a dentist, but you're going to. And it's certainly an uplifting piece. And again, it's probably one of the only songs ever written about a visit with a dentist. So here we go. The song is called Dr. Long John. Dr. Long John. My dreams are full of Dr. Long John. I got a dentist who's over 7 feet tall. I've got a dentist who's over 7 feet tall. His name is Dr. Long John, and he answers every call. I went to Long John's office, I said, Doctor, the pain is killing. Oh, I went to Long John's office, I said, Doctor, the pain is killing. He said, don't worry, baby. It's just your cavity needs a little filling. He pulled out his trusty drip drill, told me to open wide. He said he wouldn't hurt me, but he filled my whole inside. Long John, Long John, don't you ever go away, no. 'Cause you thrill me when you drill me, and I don't need no Novocaine today. When he got done drilling, he says, now, Miss Joan-E, that's going to cost you 100. I was prepared to pay 2. Oh, when he got done drilling, he said, Miss Joan-E, that's going to cost you a bill. I said, sure. But if that pain comes back, oh, that throbbing, come back and see old Long John again and again and again and again and again. Oh, yes.
Yay! Joan, after that song, can I ask you one question? Can you refer me to your dentist?
No.
Well, speaking of that, when it comes to hot men in uniforms, hot men around the world, hot men in general, I'm just a girl who can't say no. Much a question of not knowing what to do. I've known what's right and wrong since I was 10. I heard a lot of stories, and I reckon they are true, about how girls are put upon by men. I know I shouldn't fall into the pit, but when I'm with a feller, I forget. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix, Lucy. I always say, come on, let's go, just when I ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a smack. But when someone tries to kiss me, I kinda sorta wanna kiss him back. I'm just a girl when lights are low. I can't be prissy or quaint, but I'm not the kind that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't just say no. What you gonna do when a fella gets flirty and tries to talk dirty? What you gonna do? Supposing that he says that your lips are like berries and sweeter than cherries. What you gonna do? Supposing that he says that you're sweeter than cream. He's gotta have cream or die. What are you gonna do when he talks like that? Hop into bed with him. I'm just a girl who can't say no, can't seem to say it at all. I never disappoint a guy when he is paying a call. At first I play real shy and sweet, sitting on my velvety settee. I wish I weren't so attractive to men, like my scary sister Joan-E. I'm just a fool, retro guy in a sombrero and chaps. As soon as I sit on his lap, something inside of me snaps. I can't say no. Sorry, Joan, for that little dig. I couldn't resist.
It's all right. Carlotta wrote the beautiful special edition words to that during her last stay at the Hoo Ha Hilton.
Where she spends most of her time. in lockdown.
Well, I think we can agree this hit the bottom rung of the showbiz.
Absolutely. Tell us, Jeanette, do we have any people online who have any questions for us or anything, any kind of comments they want to say?
Oh,
Or
I'm
should we be
sure there's a
scared?
few comments.
We do.
Should
We
we be
do have
frightened?
people watching us. Yes. No questions, but we have had, actually, there's a local author who's watching us right now, and she said, "OMG, these ladies are hilarious."
Oh, thank you,
I thought it
Thank you
darling.
was
so
great.
much.
It's it's important that we keep laughing during
Mhm,
I hate to say that these unprecedented times. I think if
mhm.
we all had a nickel for every time we said that on a Zoom call, we'd all be very wealthy. But it is important that we
Absolutely.
keep laughing and not take ourselves too seriously and always try to find some fun where it comes. So we're just thrilled we're able to spend a bit of this evening with you. And I know that both of us are wishing all of you a very happy fall season. And as we roll into the holidays, whatever the heck that's going to mean.
Yes.
Um,
And
I'm sure
absolutely, also, darlings, make sure you check on your loved ones. Be kind to everyone in your life. And I know we're all getting frustrated and upset, but it's important to stay positive and to stay fabulous and to stay loving and kind. It's very, very important these times to wish everyone the best around you so they can in turn give that out to the people around them.
And if you're thinking about giving drag a try, don't ever attempt it without major drag supervision.
It's true. We have the tools of the trade. Trust me, it's not easy.
Well,
It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeanette, for having us. And please, if you guys want us back, please report to Jeanette and tell her that you'd love to see us again. And we would be happy to return for your entertainment pleasure.
now,
Yes.
ladies, before we say goodnight, and I know that shows are up in the air and there are question marks everywhere. Where do people find you and your fabulous selves? Carlotta, I know
Yes.
people can follow you on Instagram.
Absolutely, yes. Carlotta Gurl, CarlottaGurl.
Mhm.
I'm currently doing a couple of shows at the Junction Pub, some dinner and drag shows. They're very, very strict COVID measures are in place. Lots of social distancing. We're very, very careful with how we do things. It's a fun show for people who want to come out and have some entertainment during these times, right? So my next show will be Sunday, the 22nd of November. So this Sunday coming up. A dinner show at 8 p.m., $15 in advance or $20 at the door. And you can order a lovely, succulent, fabulous, decadent dinner to go with the Divine Drag.
And that's at the Junction Pub in Vancouver.
Absolutely, downtown Davie Street.
Wonderful.
That's right.
Wonderful. And I know that the dates are uncertain right now, but you ladies do have a duo show.
Yes, we do.
Am I correct?
Yes,
Quarantinely Yours?
Quarantinely Yours. It's live from Carlotta's couch. It's like a talk show, Saturday Night Live. Two drunken ants howling at the moon. Unfortunately, we're on hiatus right now. We're not quite sure when we're back, but hopefully we're going to be back by the end of the month, and if at the very least, hopefully before the holiday season. And that's on Facebook Live. And we have a lot of fun there. It got us through some tough months, and it's a way to keep in touch with people and make people laugh. And that's sort of what's going on. I'm not doing shows around town. I'm the drag queen for a technology company in Canada that probably I shouldn't name during this, but I mean I could, but I'm not giving, you don't want me plugging my other work there, but so I do a lot of work, but I don't do it. I'm not doing live shows right now, but I'm certainly looking forward. And then in the new year, we do we host a fundraiser called Queen's Care every year.
Yes.
That normally is in November, but we'll be having it probably in February this year. Hopefully, when we can at least have a small audience and an online thing. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, those vaccines we're hearing about are going to get rolling sooner than later, and by spring we'll be back, and you'll see the two of us tromping up Davie Street on a Saturday night.
I look forward to that.
Yes, me too. And of course, January is Pride Month in Whistler. And
yes, it is. I was there earlier on in January for Pride Month this year. That's correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll see you again for another virtual show in January.
We love it. We love Whistler. We both have great memories up there.
Absolutely.
It's a great town, and it's great to see you guys doing such a wonderful job of sharing pride and sharing community up in a beautiful part of our province.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Thank you, Worcester Public Library. And thank you, Alphabet Soup, for
My
everything you guys
pleasure.
do. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And one last note about Alphabet Soup, my friends. If you're a new person in Whistler, if you're an LGBTQ person in Whistler who doesn't know where to find resources or where to find your community, Alphabet Soup is a great place to start. So if you have any questions about Alphabet Soup, we actually meet virtually on the 4th Wednesday of every month at 5 o'clock. Get in touch with the library if you have questions about Alphabet Soup, because we would love to connect with you and help you connect with our community. Okay, I think that's officially where we'll say goodnight to our friends on Facebook.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you all for enjoying us. We love you. Stay safe.